That should have been the thumbnail. So someone screenshot this. All right. No one's in here, so that can't be done. I think I made too much coffee. Is there such a thing? I've already filled up my big cup, and I made a second cup, but I don't think I'm going to be able to drink it in time because I've only got one cup of the lid. Oh well. So we have to waste some. All right. Anybody in here yet? There's 4 people in here. Sweet. 4. Oh, you guys check out my window blinds. Check it out. I got that big one from Matt's last year or a couple years ago, back when they still had those, what do they call them, truck shows. And then I got the side windows at the Petro in Joplin. Charles Brandt, look at you go, man. $3.99. I appreciate that. Thank you. With that money, I will buy more of this. I've got this coffee. Email went off. Someone emailed me. And I got this. Got this. I am well stocked in the coffee world, ladies and gentlemen. And I use that term loosely. I'm in a decent mood. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm going broke and, not running my business good. No, I'm doing okay, guys. I really am. I'm doing okay. This month hurt. This weather and this truck has hurt me. Like, offensively hurt me. And by the way, I got a video I'm converting right there with U-Cut. That will come out tomorrow, though. We will not put it out today. Because it's a morning coffee thought video. It's related to James' best live feed from last night. Which, is he in here? I haven't seen if he's in here yet. No, not yet. He's probably sleeping in. Right? So, I'll do some shout outs. I'll say your guys' name because it feels good to have your name said. I mean, I'm not being facetious or anything. I'm just like, that's a human. We all want to hear our name. Manowar has a great lyric. Let's see if I can remember how it goes. Born to walk against the wind, born to hear my name. No matter where I go, I'm alone. It's Manowar. Manowar's awesome, right? Manowar's awesome. Cheesy, but that's what you get. It's what you get. I got too much crap in this truck. I just need to park next to a dumpster and just get rid of all of it. Turn off this APU. I don't need it anymore. Oh, we gotta watch the time. When you get 7 o'clock, I need to know, okay? This will not be a long live feed. Because I don't want it to be. Alright, we'll do some shout outs here. Okay, video's done rendering. Let's go to YouTube, see if I'm in here. Are we in here? Yes, there it is. Echo. Turn down. We got Circle of Death. Okay, there we go. All right, so Charles Brandt, thank you very much for the coffee, the $3.99. We've got Provost Motorsports, who was the second one in here. So he must not be golfing yet. John Reynoldson, good morning. I don't remember seeing your name, but that's cool. Big Houston, if you're new to the channel, welcome, sir. Big Houston, Scott SRO Logistics, about time you got up. Oh, please. I was up 2 hours ago. My awesome friend Eric from JEL Logistics called me, woke me up. I didn't answer the phone though. So Eric, if you're watching, I'll call you back. Let's see, Jeremy Rice, Grafton, Tolga. He is sleeping, hungover. Charles Brandt, not everyone wants a blue wrench. I'm very select with my wrenches. Because I've had a wrench before, like I had to go back in and change a lot of, people that were blocked. Southern Rider, been a while. Good morning, folks. Spooby is in here. Paul Wibbles, happy Friday. Check out this truck. Yeah, this is a nice truck. Check it out. Let's zoom in on that. That's a nice vehicle right there. Do you think that guy's taking $1.30 a mile? I don't think so. Oh, you might. You never know. You might have had that truck given to him. His running cost might be lower than yours. So, there's a lot of talk about, the whole debacle with GP Transco and people that promote them and all that stuff. And I made this comment in James's live feed last night. If Truckers Coach's job was to get GP Transco's name out there, it worked because everybody's talking about it. Now, whether you agree with the company or like their deal or whatever, that's I don't. All these trucking companies are the same, pretty much. If you got more than 20 trucks, you're pretty much under the same model. Get as much as you can. You got to stay in business, right? You're on your way to Chicago Heights. Where is Chicago Heights? If you say Chicago, is it Chicago? Is that Chicago? I don't know. Looking cool. Yeah, that's a good looking truck. I mean, I don't think I could ever own anything like that because I would screw it up somehow. I would mess it up. I always my desire to own something like that always increases when I go to the Joplin Truck Show. But for the most part, until I can figure out that business plan and how to make that work, I won't do it, right? Just like, that requires a level of effort and work that I really don't want to put into. And that's me being honest with myself. That's me going, I can never own something like that because I wouldn't know how to utilize that to my advantage. So, Steve Sherwood, good morning. How long did James go last night? I believe the final count of the video was like 5 hours and 47 minutes, something like that. I went to bed probably maybe an hour before he cut it. You can kind of tell when he's getting towards the end there. So sorry to hear that, Big H. I'm sitting in beautiful sunny Sarasota. Great Freight Sage Logic, how's it going? Hey Eric, I saw your Landstar video. I did get your call, but I was still sleeping, so I will call you back. I sent you an email, and this is going to be a short live feed. Guys, go check out the Great Freight Sage Logic. He did a video on Landstar, and it was information that I wish that I knew or had figured out back in the day. And I was talking to a Landstar friend. It's a guy I've been talking to for a couple of years. He was trying to decide between Schneider and Landstar. And he finally decided on Landstar. And so I gave him a couple of tips, but Truckers Tables kind of embraced him and took him in. He's on the Truckers Tables latest, or one of his newer videos. And but he had figured out the system a little bit to what Eric was talking about in his video. And you know, when I went to Landstar, I didn't have that kind of guidance until later, until it was almost too late. And so I probably fought a little bit harder than I needed to. But I also had a lot of limitations on myself. Again, that's what tomorrow's video is going to talk about, is the limitations of your mind, the limitations of you know, what is deeply embedded in you that fuels you. So other Trucker James Best is in the house. Miss it? What was the gist? I'm seeing other truckers get paid for promoting GP. Wildbeard was one. A lot of companies tell you what you want to hear, but from experience, I've seen company owner-op drivers in one company where they take care of the company drivers better. Other Trucker James Best, Charles Brandt, Provost James, I will be drinking beer in about an hour. Okay, so look, I'm not going to get involved with the whole GP Transco thing because it really doesn't. I don't need to add my 2 cents. You know why? Because I know nothing about GP Transco. I don't trust. I don't trust a lot of recruiting style type stuff. When I was in CDL school, as the recruiters come in, and I would just tear them apart. And one of them even said, wow, you kind of know your stuff. You must have someone in the family in trucking. I said, I do. And you know, you got to know how to ask the right questions. So I actually printed something out from the Truckers Report. You know, remember that website? I don't know if anybody still uses it or not. And you know, the message board, that was the thing to do before Facebook and MySpace, was the message boards, right? That was the addiction back then. Anyways, they actually printed out what I had printed out for the whole class. And so, and these were the questions that were utilized in the recruiter, when the recruiters came in. And, you know, people will tell you what you want to hear, just like Charles said. And they give you this perfect scenario money thing, which I don't think that there's such a thing as a perfect scenario in trucking. There just isn't. And if there is, it doesn't last. You can have the best dedicated route, that everything goes smoothly, you know, but something's going to screw it up. The truck's going to break down, or you're going to get underbid, or that factory will close, or, you know, something. I mean, there's nothing that's been around for 25, 35, 40 years. I mean, and if you are, that they don't have turnover. They're not at the CDL schools wanting to bring you on, or they're not trying to give you this, let's sell this whole, you know, owner operator thing. If you want to be an owner operator, you got to have a business mindset, and B, the willing to sacrifice, and C, realize that you're going to have days, weeks, months that you're not going to make any money. So if it's all about the money, you got to make sure that it's all about the money. For me, it's about money and freedom, but it's taken me a while to get there. And even then, there's a balance. You know, some months I've got my freedom, and some months I've got to work, you know, and really put in some sacrifice. I'm seeing other truckers get paid. Okay, we already read that. Light Bright, what's up? 420 extra pail, says Provost. The actual good paying trucking jobs are not recruiting from YouTube, LOL, and are usually hard to get in because drivers don't leave. That is exactly 100% true. The other thing is there's a lot of, maybe I won't get into that. I think you have to be careful who you sign on to as an owner operator. And you have to be careful who you, if you're the carrier, who you sign on, and as the driver, who you sign on with. And because that seems to be a problem here lately with some of these YouTubers that have carriers and what they're dealing with. Because there's a lot on the line. You know, you have to find, you know, like you have to find the fine line of, okay, let's bring my friends over to my authority to now, I don't know, it's there's a lot of dynamics with that you have to be careful with. And people are quick to blast on YouTube things that are going wrong, which can be extremely difficult to deal with. There's no such thing as privacy anymore, it seems like, you know. And you just I think that sometimes when you sign on with your friends, or your friends sign you on with their carrier or whatever, you forget to do the vetting, you forget to do the same, you know, scanning, or what's the word I'm looking for, being, I don't know, be, you know, where you know, be investigative. You know, how is this person going to pay me? Is this somebody I trust with my social security number? Is this someone I trust with my bank account numbers? You know, is this a person that has my back if something goes horribly wrong? You know, I think we forget to think about that kind of thing. We just take that for granted, and that can bite you in the butt, you know. And then also, when you are like a small carrier that's trying to bring on drivers and you work the spot market, you know, the only thing you're really offering them is a platform to make money. You're not offering them any dedicated accounts. You're not offering them, you know, dedicated customers. You know, you're just giving them a platform to make their own path, which is fine. But then the person that you're bringing on, do they have their act together? Do they have the ability to accept the volatility of the spot market? Do they have their finances in order that where one breakdown doesn't take them out of business? You know, will they make you money and not put your numbers at risk? You know, are they safe drivers? Do they take care of their own equipment? You know, that kind of thing. And just like the driver should be going, okay, does my carrier owner communicate very well? Communication is one of the most important things with any company. How many of you Schneider guys have tried to call the weekend shift for a problem that you might have with the trailer or with the load? That was frustrating, wasn't it? And so when you call the person in charge and you can't get a hold of them, or the people that could help you with your problem, you know, that could be frustrating. But you also got to be kind of an independent person to be able to solve your own problems at times too. But communication is the biggest thing. If your driver's unhappy and you don't know it, how do you deal with that? And if your carrier owner is unhappy with the driver and he or she doesn't tell you that, then how do you know? Communication is key, right? And so when I hear these recruiters talk about, oh, we've got this pay package and we can do this and we can do this, well, how well do you communicate with your drivers? If I have a light out on one of your trailers, how easy is it to get that fixed? Is there a bunch of red tape if I need a tire? You know, Schneider was awesome because you can go to any speed co, didn't even have to call Schneider. Boom. You could put all new tires and brakes and everything else on the trailer, and you didn't have to make one phone call. that was awesome to me. You know, how much control do you really have of your destiny, right? So Thomas Wilson's in the house. I'm scrolling through the comments here. The actual good okay, I already read that. I'm behind on comments, but the guys at the Big Orange are fixing to get the big shaft where the sun doesn't shine. Being an owner-operator has to have money to be an owner-operator and be independent. If a driver can't do that, then they need to wait until they are prepared. Jose, that is 100% true. Facts right there. Thomas Wilson. So let's talk about the Big Orange situation, okay? I'm going to give you a scenario. This is a hypothetical scenario, but it's a scenario nonetheless. So, in the spot market, there are loads that go to a distribution center up there in Oak Grove, Missouri. I won't say the name because we don't talk about customer names, but if you know, you know, right? And on the spot market, there was a load that paid $2,500 to go 200 miles coming out in Neosho, Missouri, up to that place. But what's the catch? If you see an extremely high paying load on the spot market, ladies and gentlemen, there's a catch. Okay? I don't care what it is. There's a catch. It's either got 58 stops, or you're going into the snowstorm of the century, or it's a drop trailer. So the rate con will say driver must drop trailer anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. That's what this load put, right? Now, me as a single trailer owner operator, that 2,500, if I need more than that per week, now, of course, I can go up there, drop my trailer, and do some power only if that's available in the area. But nonetheless, if they get me unloaded in 24 hours, that's a killer deal. And you hear of that happening sometimes, you know. Now, take that same scenario, but they hire a Schneider to do that. Does Schneider still get the $2,500 to drop that trailer? That's no skin off their back, because Schneider literally has 50,000 trailers. So, if they were to pay an IC to do that exact load, because a lot of these guys that left Schneider are pulling power only for another company, pulling Schneider trailers, okay? And so they realized that, wow, this same exact load only paid me $600 something or whatever, whereas on the spot market it's $2,500, right? So if you're getting 65% of that $2,500, that load should be paying extremely well. Well, they're not going to put that on the IC board, but if they need it moved, they will, but they have to give you 65%. However, with that new program, they will give you what they think is fair to do that. They're going to be like, we own the trailer. We're going to give you another trailer when you drop that one, so you don't need no 65% of 2,500, so they can take home more money. And I think that's why they're making that change, is because there are stuff that they're getting paid extremely well to do, especially if they're tapping into the spot market, which they do, and they think that you don't deserve that, especially if you're one of the guys that didn't get an SFI truck, because they're also going by expenses. You know, if you got the guy with an SFI truck versus the guy that's like me that had my own truck, well, they're going to want to give the SFI guy a little bit more money, so he doesn't want to move his truck to F2F or Landstar or whatever, because they're tired of their trucks being moved somewhere and then the truck's coming back. So yeah, you can sit for days. Now, I've thought about buying a second trailer, because around Christmas time is when I see those loads. And I thought, you know, S Cargo, he's a YouTuber. He actually did that. He owned 3 trailers, 2 or 3 trailers, and he would do that. He would do dropping hooks like that. Create your own drop and hook pool. And so it would have been nothing for me to drop a trailer, deadhead all the way back home to get the second trailer, and then keep running And then once that was done, go up and get, and so it would have been good money. I've run power only while my trailer was being used, and it's a good system that works, if you got the power only in your area. So 75,000 trailers, says Daniel Adami. With that said, a carrier, friend or not, has to have their things in order. That is true, Jose. That is true. And, and if you're bringing on your first or second or third driver, you're figuring stuff out. How do I pay these guys? What are the weaknesses of my contract? What are the strengths of my contract? What will my driver need from me? You can't just some people might need coaching a little bit to run the spot market, because it's a different system. Even if you come from Schneider. Now, if you're Landstar going to spot market, you've got probably the most preparation versus the Schneider guys. And that's why the first couple of people that came over to like trucking took to it naturally, because, a couple of us were at Landstar at one point. Gear Grabber was Landstar, Harold was Landstar, I was ex-Landstar, Jeff was ex-Landstar. So it wasn't too much of a different platform. And there's different dynamics when you don't have drop and hooks. That's the only adjustment that the Landstar guys have to make, is that you don't have that option to drop and hook unless you own multiple trailers, like what we were talking about just a few minutes ago. As an S&I company driver, I'm having trouble even getting reimbursed. Red tape. Right, and see, that's a problem, though. I mean, look, I'm not saying if you're in the spot market as owner operator, you don't have your problems. We have to fight for detention. We have to fight for layover. A lot of times, like yesterday, I could have went after the broker that I used for an hour of detention, but I didn't, because I knew I wasn't going to get it. So little things like, even as a company driver, you had to fight for that detention. You had to kind of be on them. When I was at Schneider, I always had to be on them for those $25, trailer move payments. You just, it shouldn't be so hard to communicate and get the money that you've deserved, and so everybody's dogging e-logs, right? Well, e-logs puts a lot of proof in the pudding on what you've been doing, where you're at, whether you've been slacking, whether you're going to be on time or whatever, that kind of thing. And Great Freight Sage Logic is the next Landstar driver and agent. So his Landstar video, if you guys are Landstar, go check out his video. It's a good method, a method that I've seen work. The problem I had with Landstar was consistency. I would find an agent to work with, and then they would lose their freight, or they would leave. The agents at Landstar had a huge turnover rate. That kind of made me think about a few things. And then the ones that, I had lunch with a guy that lives in Ozark, Missouri. I forget his name. He was a Landstar agent. I did a couple of loads for him. He had really great loads going to Florida, but I had always had trouble getting out. And he kind of kept those for the same 10 guys that he always dealt with. There's a lot of preferential treatment at Landstar, but the Schneider program, that's look, Jeff had talked about when they went public that things were going to change, that things were going to be different, and he was right. I mean, anytime a company goes public, anytime that a company gets really big and loses touch with what got them there in the first place, it never ends great for the employee or the contractor. Plain and simple. You know how many places I've worked for that I was laid off, or it was such a horrible environment. They took a perfect job and ruined it because they lost touch with their people, they lost touch with their customer base, they lost touch with their employees and what got them there in the first place. Make no mistake, if you're a company owner and you forget your roots, you forget where you came from, you lose touch of who got you where you're at. You're going to struggle with turnover, and you're going to lose money, and you're going to wonder why. You're going to be like, I don't know why, and I've watched people literally, I worked for a guy that literally killed himself because he put himself in that position. He burned all of his bridges and forgot what his customers wanted, forgot what his employees did for him, and threw that all out the window. Next thing you know, he's miserable, he's broke, puts a gun to his head. So, losing touch with yourself and losing touch with your roots is to me is not a good thing. We leave when we get direct customers. We open our own brokerage. Yep. Murray Williamson, Ska, good stuff you're sharing this morning. Thank you. I appreciate that, Murray. You guys will like my video for tomorrow. I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent, not doing nothing but, doing more than just live feeds. I say in a live feed, I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. But I'm a YouTuber. YouTubers are hypocrites. Yeah, I said it, and I'm one of them. I'm a hypocrite. What? Doesn't matter how many trailers Schneider has. The exact number is they got a ton. 36,000 or 75,000. Doesn't matter. They can afford to drop that trailer for 5 days and keep their driver moving. And they probably feel that you don't deserve that $2,500 because it's their trailer, their contract, their deal. So, and I believe that's where that's coming from, is they're truly not giving you 65%, maybe. This is just an assumption, because also that's another thing YouTubers do, is we assume things and then speak it as gospel. And myself included, and I'm about to do it, but I'm pretty sure that there are loads that they don't want to give you 65% because they feel that you don't deserve it. And they want to pay you what they want to pay you, which is why the wording of the contract has changed. Plain and simple. Big Houston says, hit the like button. RN, how's it going? So, I mean, look. We're all just trying to get by in this world, and if these trucking companies are very competitive right now, it's a driver's market. And by that I mean there's a lot of companies that are going to tell you or give you sign-on bonuses or anything like that, to bring you on, whether it be as a contractor, as a company driver, because you're the company's leverage. Think about this. If you're a trucking company with 100 trucks and 100 drivers, you have leverage versus a guy like me that only has one truck, right? You have leverage. You can go to a place like P&G and say, hey, you know what? I've got 100 drivers that can do whatever you need to do. Whatever you need, whatever your needs are, we can help you out. And that's leverage. And in this day and age, that's how you make money. I don't care if it's trucking, restaurant, doesn't matter. You have to have some kind of leverage. You have to have some kind of I don't know, in the know. You have to have some kind of I can't even think of the word right now. And and unfortunately, business without morality is a sin. It's I think it was one of Gandhi's 7 sins, right? and wrote a song about that, I believe. It's called Delusions of Grandeur. Also could be found on Apnea's Bandcamp page. Type in Apnea 1 to Bandcamp. Help a guy out. We all promote, right? We all promote. But, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of business without morality out here. And it's a jungle, really. I mean, it's you got to be careful. I mean, you know, you just got to be careful. You know, even as a business owner, even if you own the restaurant, even if you own the carrier, even if you own 100 trucks, or you own the company that leases the 100 trucks, you have to be careful. And then you got the government to worry about, which that's a whole different level of business without morality. Sign-on bonuses are crazy to me because you don't get all of it at the same time. Big Houston, those sign-on bonuses are designed to make you money while you're training. Most of the entry-level companies have sign-on bonuses because that's what the driver lives off of when he's training. Now, with some companies giving you sign-on bonus as contractor, that's to help cover your bills, to entice you to make that move, because whether you're the carrier or the driver, it's costly to move. I don't understand these people that job hop all the time. I hate job hopping. I hate job hopping. I'm the kind of guy that will work for the same person for a long time if I'm being treated nicely. I was hoping bringing my own truck to SNI after 6 months experience. Maybe I should just look elsewhere. I like beans. It's the jury's still out on whether that's going to be a good program or not. You know, I mean, if look, the best aspect of Schneider is being able to choose your own freight and being able to master your own domain, I guess, you know, and if they keep that aspect, which it's probably going to be, they probably need to keep it as a choose your own freight kind of deal because of maybe some new AB5 laws coming down the line. And I noticed that some of these other mega carriers, like, have you guys seen those variant trucks that are pulling US Express? That's a choose your own freight. USA Trucks got choose your own freight. KLM's got choose your own freight. Prime is working on something. So as long as they keep that aspect and you can make money, I don't, who knows, right? But Sharon Lambert, she brought up a good point in one of the Facebook groups, that the difference is you can negotiate with the spot market or even with Landstar to a certain degree. And so there's a lot of control that you don't have over at Schneider, as far as, like, you know, I can negotiate rates. I can negotiate, hey, this load pays tolls, or this load goes down, you know, toll road, so I need a little bit more, or, you know, hey, I'm going into Brooklyn, so I kind of need a lot more, you know, that kind of thing. But whereas they control what they think that you deserve, and that's the part that really bothers me is if someone says you're going to get what you deserve, I don't know, how do you determine that? You don't know my costs, you don't know my work ethic. I could prove myself to you, but what do you think, what does that word even mean, right? friend of mine is seriously looking into power only. I see that Cargill has going on now. New York City is a no-go for me. You know, and Jeremy Rice, thank you. And I gotta make sure. Let me check my Jeep. Let me check my GPS. See what it's saying. I'll turn the camera around so you guys can look at a pretty truck instead of. Can you guys guess where I'm at? Can you guess where I'm at? Let's see.
Please drive to highlighted route.
Let's see. There is a little bit of a traffic snarl in Bella Vista. All right, so we're still good. We're still good. So we'll put that there. Like my Green Miles hat. I'd be wearing a like trucking hat, but I don't. Jeff has never made. He made one and he gave it to a little kid, which is fine. Little kid deserves it, but you know. So we got enough time to talk a little bit more and finish my coffee. And what this is going to do is I'm going to be in a traffic jam in Bella Vista and I'll have to pee. It'll be awesome. Two minutes till 7. Thank you, Southern Rider. I think if I leave by 7:30, I think we'll be good. So here in about 15 minutes, we'll start our pre-trip. But I appreciate that, guys. You guys are awesome. You got Charles giving me money, and you guys reminding me that I need to get back. I need to get to work, you know. And then once I'm in the dock, I'll look to see if there's any Saturday or Sunday stuff because I have to be home by Monday. And we'll see what happens. So the Big Apple. I'm in New York City. I'm in New York City. It's funny because, you know, the big sign says fresh food, truck wash. There's no truck wash here yet. I don't know if they're going to build one or not. I think they were going to, but then COVID hit, and I think they just kind of had to, you know, don't forget my Apnea sticker. Yes, James. I know where the CDs are. And I think that's where the stickers are. So next time I do a live feed from the house, remind me, okay? Remind me when I'm at the house. And hopefully I got some left. I think I do. I think I got a couple left because I put them in the CDs. And they're going to be black and white, so it's not going to be the red and blue logo or red and black logo. But still, it'll have that logo that you like. Provost has a bad up hat making machine. Yeah, he's got that embroider. There was a local band called the Coventry Sacrifice, named after the deal in England where England knew that Germany was going to bomb Coventry, and they had to let it happen because they didn't want Germany to know that they were on to them. So they call it the Coventry Sacrifice. So these guys named the band. They're still around, actually. And those guys had an embroidery machine. And they made all their own merch. You know, like Prime. Prime makes all their own stuff. You know, you want a hat or a jacket or something that says Prime. Prime actually makes that for themselves, for their drivers. For a fee, obviously, but, you know. So anyways, we might be at the end of this video because I don't know what else much more to say. I was just in a talkative mood. I just recorded a video. I still have to listen to it, make sure it's good. Make sure I don't. I'm very critical of myself. I still can't even watch my own live feeds. So I'm kind of annoying. So there's that. But no what? Big Rig CEO. Big Rig CEO. That guy's going to work today. It's about time. Schneider uses third party for their garb and they're proud of it. Big money. It's not too bad. I used to buy shirts at the Dallas OC. The now defunct Dallas OC. Their little store that they had in there, but I don't know. I like their black shirts. And I got like a winter hat. That kind of what props up my GPS here in the windshield. You need to apologize about your last live feed. Why? What'd you do? What'd you do, Big Houston? bigrigceo is now in the spot market. He got rid of the orange trailer. And I passed him the other day and I barely recognized him because he had this pretty white trailer behind him. And you know, he's figuring out the spot market stuff. He's taking it to like fish to water, just like I knew he would the Schneider program. So, phone call noises. Oh yeah, Big Houston, you should apologize for that. So, look, I forget to mute my phone sometimes when I go live. Do that right now. So no smart ass can do what they do. Truck for Life, good morning, sir. I get my truck back on Monday. Truck for Life, I want you to check out Great Sage video about Landstar. I think that's a thing that could definitely help. I mean, not that you're struggling. I think you're doing pretty good over there, but it's a good method to make some money at Landstar. Knowledge that I wish I had when I was there. I think bigrigceo enjoys the air ride aspect of the trailer because you don't realize how much those spring ride trailers beat you up until you get on an air ride and you're like, wow, holy crap. Feels smooth as butter. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I think we're going to end this feed, even though I've got like 37 people in here now. Is there any other comments, questions? We'll have time for the crowd to ask their questions. It could be anything and everything. Anything and everything. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about this long-bearded scumbag? What do you want to know about me? Bestie, did you see the brokers at Jackter company name? Hey, bigrigceo. Nah, I'll ask you later. I'll call you later. I was going to ask you a question. When am I buying a new truck? Well, first thing to do, I need to get rid of a little bit of debt. The second thing I need to do is save up enough money to where I have a huge down payment so I don't have an outrageous truck payment. And number three, it has to be until I need to see those new 680s in action. I need to see that. Because that truck I was showing earlier, that Kenworth over there, that's something that's not in my future, I don't think. As much as I would like that, you know, the logistics of having a truck like that just don't make sense to me. Looks like a bird sanctuary. I know what you mean. I'll tell you what, it does feel good to get back to work. I cannot sit and do nothing for too long. That's why I'd never be a good welfare recipient. remember one time I collected unemployment because we had a callback date because they didn't want us leaving, but they were doing the boat factory was changing skin companies and retooling, so I was laid off for about a month or 2 months, and I don't know, I didn't handle it well. I didn't utilize my time. And then another time when the restaurant that I worked at almost burned down, we also had a callback date, so we were able to collect unemployment and not have to worry about looking for jobs or whatever. And that was also a moment. I don't know, sitting at home doing nothing, you know, if you don't know how to utilize your time, is extremely difficult. And the problem is that the 2 weeks I was home, I couldn't really do anything like around the house as far as the outside, which needs a lot of work because of the weather, because of the temperatures and all that. So, yeah, freight volume is insane. Look, if you're in the spot market, get your money. Get your money, because it is booming right now. And these brokers are hating life right now because of this volume. The spring rush has started prematurely. Spring rush has turned into an 18-year-old, and it's high and quick, right? Trucking saved me for sure. Yeah, those new 680s. Look, and you know, parts from them are going to be through the roof on those new 680s. I need to learn patience when booking. Probably cost myself hundreds by booking out too early. bigrigceo, look, I know what you're talking about. Sometimes there's a line, right? And when volumes are really bad, you need to book ahead because the only thing that's going to be left is crap. And so, and nothing is frustrating as a low board on Monday morning. So booking ahead is actually almost preferred in a way. When volumes are down, you definitely have to book ahead. If you know, and it because you got it. The idea is to keep moving, keep your wheels moving, versus trying to get that 3 o'clock shuffle. When you lose, you lose. You know, you might lose a whole day doing that. I can't tell you how many times I have gaps in my schedule because I took that gamble, didn't book ahead, and the only thing left was the crap that no one else wanted, either because of rate or because of times or because of product. So don't beat yourself up on that. So, Mike Miller, good morning. So, 5 more minutes, and then we're going to end this feed. Because I also got to look where I'm going, as far as look at the parking lot and see which way I'm going in. And I'm going to Lowell, Arkansas, which is like, there's 50 ways to usually get to where I need to go. And back in the Schneider days, there's a drop lot in Schneider I would stay at, but I didn't think they would probably take too kindly to my non-orange pull-in trailer self. They'd be like, you know, because they're racist against white trailers, so I probably couldn't get in there. If you're not too busy today, can I call you later? Absolutely. If you get my voicemail, I will get back to you because I'm constantly getting calls dealing with brokers and stuff, but absolutely, you can call me. Your GPS is broken? Garmin, man. Garmin's the way to go. Garmin. Everybody I know that's had a Ram McNally hates it, or it's failed on them as far as like it breaks down or doesn't work right. Garmin. Garmin's the only way to go. I grabbed a load the other day, picking up today, going to South Carolina, same lane this morning, paying $500 more. Look, man, there's a learning curve. That's the thing. That's why it's important to have costs down, because there's a learning curve to this. That's why, you know, look, Coach was live the other day, and we talked about, I actually called in on the show and talked about some of the Schneider challenges with Schneider finance guys coming to the spot market, and that there's no room for error with a high payment like that. There's no room for error. You know, you lose 2 days. You know, you're looking at making only a couple $100 after your truck payment. You know, so it's to have your costs low. That's why you need to have money in the bank. That's why you need a credit line. That's why you need to have your costs down, because you're going to make mistakes. I don't care if you've been driving 20 years or 20 months, you're going to make mistakes that will cost you money. And, you know, and sometimes these things are out of your hands. Maybe you do a load that you lose 3 days on because of one scenario or another. You know, so it's not just your own issues that come across. You know, sometimes, you know, trucking is not a perfect world. You know, there's no I don't know, you can have, look, you can have a dedicated lane, dedicated truck, and dedicated everything. You do the same thing for a year straight, and every day will be different in one capacity or another. Mistakes happen, weather happens, you know, someone slams into you, you slam into someone, you know, and so you have to be able to absorb. You know, that's why these mega carriers do so well, is because they can absorb the accidents, they can absorb the mishaps, they can absorb those tow bills. As a single truck owner operator, that's a bigger hit. Schneider gets a tow, that's not a big deal to them, because they could absorb that cost. Somebody like me has to get a $2,000 tow. That hurts a little bit, you know. And if you got a $4,000 a month truck note and you still got to get towed, that's even a bigger hit, you know. Time to get loaded. Truck for life, yeah. Ram McNally's always had that problem. Mine had that problem. This market is easy to make up for mistakes, right? And when the market is good, it's easy. But when the market is down and you know how to survive, you're golden. You know, and like I said, I was at Landstar when the rates were at their almost lowest, and I survived. You know, I had my survival skills in place. So, you know, Schneider, same thing. Schneider, I decided, you know what? I almost got a Schneider finance truck. I almost did, but 2 people talked me out of it, and I'm so glad that I have my friends that talked me out of that. Not that it doesn't work, but it doesn't work for me, and that's the difference. A lot of these people get on YouTube and say this is horrible. No, it's horrible for you, but it might be good for someone else. So, anyways, we're done. Thanks for watching. Click like. If you want some really good death metal music, go to Apnea 1 on bandcamp.com. And if you want to know what your costs are, go to Fogline Software, use my code SA10 for 10% off. And I get paid if you do that. And I'll be completely honest. But, you know, but it's a good program that I use myself. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And, you know, keep the shiny side up. Be safe. I'm going to use everybody else's taglines at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Peace.